There is so much to be thinking about when creating a print-on-demand design, and it's very easy for us to forget a step, which is why I've made a 10-step checklist, which I'm going to go through in this video, and you can download it today, so totally free. I just thought, this could be really helpful for you. We're going to go through the checklist so that you know why something's on it and what it actually means. But before going through the checklist, please smash that subscribe button if you are new here. If you are not new here and you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button as well. I'm trying to get to 50,000 and I'm planning a really cool giveaway when I get there. But I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. Let's just move on with the video and let's get started. Okay, so these aren't in any particular order, and of course there could be more than 10 or less than 10 for certain people. The reason I put these 10 steps on the checklist is because it will relate to the most amount of people, and that's what I want for this video, and that's what I want for this checklist, to be able to relate to pretty much, well, nearly everyone. Number 1, check trademark issues. So if you're selling a t-shirt or anything, a design in the US, you can check the USPTO trademark search to see if you're allowed to use that phrase. In the UK, you can use the .gov website, and both links should be in the description. Now, the reason why this is vital is because you don't want to be stealing someone else's design. And if you're thinking, well, what are the chances I'm going to get caught anyway? You're right. Chances are you won't get caught. However, you don't want that looming over your head, forever. And as well as that, it's just not right. So yeah, just, don't steal other people's work and check the trademark is available. Number 2 is getting feedback from your family and friends. Now, you may not think this is very important, but most of the time we are blinded by how much we like our design and we don't see the imperfections, and it's very hard to critique your own design. And I've experienced this firsthand of thinking my design was, that good, and actually it wasn't very good. So show your design to some family and friends and make sure that you tell them you want the honest truth. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make it easier for yourself. Just tell them you want the hard truth, because there is absolutely no point continuing a design if it's no good. At the end of the day, you want to waste as little time as possible, and you don't want to flog a dead horse, as they say. Number 3 is to check the website upload options. By that I mean, depending on what website you're going to upload your design to, check that your design has the right specs, basically. So for example, with Amazon, Merch by Amazon, you'd want to upload 5,400 by 4,500 pixels with 300 DPI with an sRGB format. And that's just because those are their upload settings. Now, different print-on-demand companies will have different upload settings. Majority of them have the same, so there's not much to worry about. But just check them so that you can make sure you're uploading your design and it's going to end up being the best quality it can be on the product you're deciding to print on. So a lot of these things you don't really have to worry about, just double check to make sure. Number 4, upload to at least 3 platforms. Now, the reason I say upload to 3 platforms is because it allows yourself to kind of spread yourself over the internet in a way and get seen by 3 potential different audiences. Now, the platforms I'd recommend straight off the bat is Merch by Amazon if you've been accepted, Etsy with Printful integration, and Redbubble. Now, I'm recommending those 3 platforms because they are all slightly different platforms, all with their own audiences and all have their own pros and cons, obviously. But I just think those 3 platforms are a great starting point for anyone with print on demand. Now, there are obviously tons of other platforms which you can upload to that I haven't mentioned. And again, it's totally up to you. If you want to upload to 10 platforms, that's absolutely fine. But I would just say, these 3 platforms are a good starting point. Number 5 is decide what color t-shirt you're going to use, or other print-on-demand item if it's a pillow or, a backpack, whatever it may be. Now, I recommend using 3 to 5 colors and make sure that your design works on those colors. The amount of times I've seen, a design for a black t-shirt, but it's on a white t-shirt and half the design is invisible, I can't even count because it's just so frequent. So make sure your design works for the color t-shirts you're going to be using. Now, the reason why I recommend 3 to 5 colors is because if you have more than 5 colors, you're giving your customers slightly too many options, and you're making it even harder for them to make a decision as to which one they want. And the longer they're pondering on which color to buy, the more chance of them just being like, actually, I don't want this at all. You want them to make quick, snappy decisions so that they can quickly buy your item. Number 6, pick at least 5 different print-on-demand items and make sure your design is compatible with it. So the reason I say pick 5 different print-on-demand items is because when you upload to 3 platforms with 5 different items, you're technically uploading 15 different products, which gives you a lot of chances. Just for one design, it gives you a lot of chances to actually get sales. And again, you can upload to 10 different print-on-demand products, which gives you, 30 chances if you're doing 3 platforms, and that's absolutely fine as well. That can also work really well. Just make sure that your design is compatible with every product, right? And you've made it for that product. So for example, don't make a design for a cap and then put it on leggings and think, you know what, that's going to look absolutely fine. It might need some tweaking so that it fits that template, so it fits that product size. Number 7 is to create 5 to 10 lifestyle images and then 5 normal promotional images that you can use, across different social media platforms. Now, the reason why this is really cool is because if you're selling on Etsy, you can actually upload your own images. So having different lifestyle images with different kind of people wearing the shirt, it relates to a much larger audience. As well as that, it just makes your design stand out from others. It makes it look slightly more professional. Now, when it comes to finding mockups, I use a platform called Placeit. Placeit is really an incredible website. They have the largest library of mockups. You can have, different lifestyle, different, cool graphic-y ones. You can have different promotional ones. They've just got everything. And if you want to get Placeit, by the way, there is a link in the description which gets you 15% off. But basically, I use Placeit for mockups. Now, there are other platforms you can use. For example, Canva have a few different mockups and Vexels have a few different mockups as well. But basically, what you want to do is you want to create a whole bunch of mockups that you will then be able to use later on in other steps that I'm going to tell you about. Just bear in mind, try to make these images different so they can appeal to a much larger audience. Number 8 is create at least 10 pins for Pinterest. Now, you can use the mockups that you created in step 7 or part of them to create your Pinterest pins. I like to use Canva because you can just set the template and then you can just, copy and paste it and just change it up a tiny bit. Make sure those 10 pins are all unique. You don't want to create 10 of the same pins. And the reason I say Pinterest over other social media platforms is because I feel Pinterest is the easiest platform to get your foot in the door in a way. So with Instagram, I'm going to recommend Instagram as well, but with Instagram, it's much harder to be seen by lots of people, whereas Pinterest is much easier to be seen by lots of people. And the one thing I like about Pinterest is they don't penalize you for having a link connected to your pin. So you can have a pin that immediately redirects someone away from Pinterest to Etsy or to Redbubble or to Amazon, and Pinterest won't penalize that pin, which is really, really good because you can still get a serious amount of views on your pins, right, and still send them to your website, which is getting you traffic. As well as that, Pinterest and Etsy go hand in hand, and I've made a whole bunch of videos on this that will either be in the description or be up there if I remember to do it, but they're really good videos and it will show you how Pinterest and Etsy are very similar and how you can kind of work with them together to increase your sales. Number 9 is to find niche hashtags and prepare 5 Instagram posts. The next best after Pinterest is Instagram. Now, you don't have to post on Instagram, but I would recommend it because it's still a very, very powerful social media platform. Just make sure that you're preparing hashtags that aren't huge, maybe 150,000 searches, around that, and really relate to your specific, niche. Now, I would create an Instagram account around the design in general, not necessarily the design specifically, but just in general, and that way you can use the same Instagram account to promote other t-shirts, if you want. Now, when it comes to creating your Instagram posts, I, again, would like to use the mockups that I created in Placeit or Vexel or Canva, but mostly Placeit, and then I would upload them to Canva, right, use the Canva template, and basically just make, a whole bunch of different Instagram posts, different colors, different styles. I would want them to kind of have the same underlying theme, but I'd want them to relate to different audiences. And then I would just post them on Instagram, over a couple of days, not all at once, not over 3 weeks or something crazy like that, but just make sure they all have different hashtags so they're all relating to different people. Now, if you find that one picture is doing really well, it's getting a lot of likes, a lot of comments, use those hashtags again, and maybe even, design something very, very similar to it, because clearly that works. Number 10 is you have to understand it's a waiting game. Don't get deflated if your t-shirt or design or whatever your product is doesn't do well, or doesn't do well straight off the bat. Basically what I'm trying to say is don't, put all your hopes and dreams into this one design. This isn't really a checklist item, but I just thought it was so damn important that you realized, not to put all your eggs in one basket, not to put all your hopes and dreams on a particular design. I've done this before where I've made a design and then I've thought, oh wow, this is gonna go viral, all the things I'm gonna be able to do with this and buy and this and that, and all the other shirts I'm gonna be able to base off it, and then that shirt just fails. And when that happens, it hits you so much harder than if it just, if you just kind of went in not with a crazy amount of expectations. And there you have it. Those are the 10 steps in this checklist. Now, like I said earlier, there are definitely steps that could go on here. There are definitely steps on here that don't relate to you, but I felt that these 10 steps relate to the most people in general, and that's why I put them on this checklist. Now, if you want to reference this checklist whenever you want without having to come back to the video, you can download it. It's totally free. The link is in the description. It will just take you to a page where you put your email in, then I'll send it to you. And it's a really cool checklist with links that will lead to helpful videos and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just a Word document, basically. It's like a cool little infographic that will be really helpful. So definitely go check that out if you want it. As I said, it's totally free. I just made this and you can have it. So yeah, link is in the description. And finally, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you potentially in tomorrow's video, but I might not post on Friday. So maybe Sunday's video or Monday's video, we will see.